accelerated graduation. What is it? Well, let me talk to you about an experiment I did. A few years ago, when I was running 60 or so plus schools, I was looking at the quality and the standard of the students, and I had a little bit of a dilemma. In order to keep my rapid expansion on... It's easy for me to... Let me say that again. In order to keep my rapid expansion on track, I needed high-quality physical martial artists. People who not only could do the business end of the business, of course, recruit, enroll, upgrade, and maximize, but who could also physically teach the martial arts. So I decided to conduct a very simple experiment. I put on what was called an ATP, an advanced training program. Well, I offered people a chance to gain their black belt in 6 months. Now, before you decide to switch off this training and think that I'm talking complete trash or produce a low-level standard of student, just hang in there with me. Just suspend your disbelief long enough so that you can just take in some of these concepts and ideas. So, 6 months to black belt. And I got the idea from, believe it or not, Korea. I used to teach Taekwondo system. And then I discovered that I can actually go to Korea as a white belt and within 6 months gain to black belt. Now, how is that physically possible? Well, for starters, they have an intense training regime that actually enables you to progress through to black belt and attain a certainly high quality black belt within 6 months. Now, that may not be possible in your style. I'm not going to fight you over it, no pun intended, but what I am going to do is to hopefully open your mind and try and expand your thinking to about certain possibilities of things that can in fact be possible. And nowadays, of course, you watch the UFC, or maybe you don't watch the UFC, but if you do, you'll see fighters who've only been training for 6 months or 12 months, who quite frankly would beat 7 belts out of most of or any of the black belts I've ever known or seen in their physicality. So let's get that straight. Physicality in the martial arts, I think, can be mastered relatively quickly. And there's certain styles that will take a little bit longer, but most stand-up systems can certainly be mastered or be greatly gained of an experience and a certain level of expertise within 6 months. I brought in an independent examiner. I actually had about 24 students participate in this program. I was pulling from quite a big pool, and here's what I did. I charged $4,000 for this program. So if you do the simple math on that, let me see, it's 24 times 620. I made about $144,000 to run this 6 month program. So I figured, hey, that's a pretty good experiment. I get paid to test out these folks and see whether or not we can take them from beginner to black belt. As a sidebar, I'm going to run a training on Advanced Training Program, ATP, in the next couple of weeks or so. So look out for that training. That's going to be coming up. But here's what happened. Here's were the results. The students were actually physically better than the students who've been training for 2 or 3 years in my program. So why was that? How was it they were better? I know it's not all about the physical, and I know there's certain attributes and character traits that you should surely be looking for, but it's all about more intensity, not more time. It's all about playing full out rather than half out. You know, think about that for a second. An average student trains twice a week and actually an average student trains less than twice a week, but I'm not going to go down that path. Let's say twice a week, which is an hour and a half's worth of training. So in theory, if somebody did 1 8-hour day of training, they'd actually be completing almost 2 months worth of training, or 6 weeks. Does that make sense? I hope you're following me here. But listen, here's what we found. I brought in an independent examiner to make sure I wasn't being biased, and without doubt,